Hi, I'm Shelley, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a lovely vest top with cotton yarn, perfect for spring and summer. I'm using 3.5 hook for the border and 4mm hook for the main body. I'm using double knitting cotton yarn, Signet cotton, and we're going to start by chaining 74 stitches. That's for the smallest size. All other sizes will be on the screen. So chain 74. Now we're going to work a double crochet into the first stitch, and then we're going to just work a double crochet into each chain until the end. And for the next row we're going to chain one, and then we're going to work a double crochet into the back loop of the stitch below, and we're going to do this for the entire row. So into the back loop, and we're going to work 2 more rows of double crochet into the back loop. So this row we're doing repeat it another 2 times. So for the next row we're going to work the first double crochet into the first double crochet rather than chaining one, and then we're going to chain 3, and then we're going to miss 3 stitches and double crochet into the next stitch. So chain 3, miss 3 stitches, and then double crochet into the next stitch. I'll go through that one more time. Chain 3, miss 3 stitches, and double crochet into the next one, and just repeat that sequence to the end of the row. And we're going to end the row with a double crochet into the chain 1 from the previous row. Turn. Now at this point you can either do a chain 3, or my preferred method is to double crochet into the first stitch and then go into the second loop away from the hook, pull the yarn through and complete another double crochet, which I find gives a neater edge. And then what we're going to do is 3 trebles into each 3 chain space. So that's the first 3, and then 3 trebles into the next space. And 3 trebles into the next space. And just continue to work 3 trebles into each space until the end of the row. So we end that row with a double crochet into the chain 3 or the starting stitch. Sorry, a treble. Half treble, no treble. I'm getting confused. And turn. And then we're going to work the first double crochet into the first stitch, and then we're going to chain 3 and work a double crochet into the space between the groups of 3 trebles. Chain 3 and work a double crochet in the space between the 3 groups of trebles. Chain 3 and work a double crochet between the groups of 3 trebles, and again, and continue that sequence until the end of the row, and end the row with a double crochet in between the last 3 group of 3 trebles and the chains, and then work a double crochet into the start stitch. And turn. So all you need to do now is repeat the last 2 rows until your work measures 17 centimeters. So for the next row we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to work a double crochet into the next stitch and work a double crochet into each stitch and end with a double crochet into the starting stitch. So for the next row we're going to chain 1, and just as we did for the border along the bottom, we're going to go into the back, double crochet into the back loop only, and we're going to do that to the end of the row and finish with a double crochet into the chain 1. And then we're just going to work another 2 rows, so just like the border, 4 rows of double crochet into the back loop. So for the next row you can either chain 2 to start, or you can use the double crochet starter into the second loop, pull through, and then we're going to work half trebles into the next stitch and all the following stitches, and we're going to end with a half treble into the chain 1 from the previous row, and we're then going to continue working half trebles until your work measures 26 centimeters. So we're just going to do straight half trebles now until your work measures 26 centimeters. So for the next row we're going to slip stitch into the first 6 stitches, apologies if you can hear my boiler. And then either chain 2 or work a start stitch, and then you're going to half treble across to the last 7 stitches. So work a half treble into the last stitch, and then we're going to do a start stitch or a chain 2, and then we're going to half treble 2 together. And then we're going to half treble to the last 3 stitches, sorry. So at the end of the last 3 stitches, we're going to half treble 2 together, and then half treble into the start stitch. And then all we're going to do is one more row like that, one more row with a decrease at either end, and then work straight until the armhole measures 18 centimeters. So for the front, you need to work exactly as you did for the back, but stop 8 rows before the top of the back so that we can shape the neckline. So we're there now, we've got the front and we've created it up to the 8 rows before the top of the back, and so now we're going to work a start stitch or a chain 2, and then we're going to pattern 11, so all trebles for 11 stitches. And then we're going to half treble 2 together and turn. And then we're going to work a chain 2 or a start stitch. And then we're going to half treble 2 together again. And work to the end of the row. And for the next row, we're going to work in pattern to the last 3 stitches and treble 3 together, and after that do 5 more rows where we're decreasing at the neck edge, and then see how it compares to the back. If it's the same height as the back, then fasten off, but if it's not quite there yet, just work enough rows to make it the same as the back in terms of the size of the armhole. So yeah, double, treble, half treble 2 together. And then work a half treble into the start stitch from the previous row. And then yes, work 5 more rows of neck decreases and then fasten off, or do another couple of rows if you need to for the measurement. So now we're going to rejoin the yarn at the edge like before, so that we can work it in exactly the same way, except on the opposite side. So there's our first stitch set up. So we're going to go back into that stitch and make a starting stitch, and then we're going to pattern 11 just as we did on the other side of the neck. And then we're going to half treble 2 together and turn. So just as before, decrease on the neck edge on the next 6 rows, and when the armhole is the same height as the one on the back, then fasten off. So the next step after finishing the front is to join the shoulder seams. So just join them together with a needle and some of the yarn that you use to make the garment, and then we can do the neck. So now we've joined the shoulder seams, we're going to go into the centre stitch at the back of the neck and rejoin the yarn, and we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to work a double crochet into each stitch right around the neck until we get back to where we started, and then we're going to join with a slip stitch. So work around half the back of the neck, all around the front of the neck to the other side and back to where we started, just in double crochets. So now all we're going to do is chain 1, and then we're going to work into the back of the stitch all the way around, just as we did for the borders at the bottom. And then just work another 3 rows after this row of double crocheting into the back loop only, after which you'll sew up the side seams, and then you can do exactly as we're doing here, pick up and crochet around the armhole, and then work 5 rows of double crochet in the back loop only around the armholes too.